Hey guys, welcome back to the tutorials. In this tutorial, we're gonna keep going from where we were. Hopefully, get everything all figured out and working. So, we're gonna have to open up our open inventory function and go to where we have our add child menu one, and we're gonna start a listener. I forgot to do this before, so we're doing it now. So we're gonna do menu one dot move mode dot add event listener mouse event dot click, and it's going to call the function move mode, and that is why it was not checking and unchecking earlier, our checkbox in the last tutorial. So now if we test it, hopefully without any errors, we can start moving stuff. I know we still have those errors, and hopefully it'll figure itself out eventually, but right now we can use one. Now let's see what happens if we go back over and select one. Okay, so that all works. It unbinds and stuff. That's cool. Now let's check move items, and now okay, so we still can't. Oh, yeah, we can. See, now we have an item moved, but we can't do anything with it because we don't have it done yet. We're not completely, done with the thing. Oh, also. Change mouse down. I just noticed this when I was doing it. Change mouse down there to mouse down. Yeah. Sorry. Doesn't make any sense. But, yeah. So it should look like item.add event listener mouse event dot mouse down, move item, and add event listener mouse event mouse up, drop item. Just like that. Okay. So, now we have our move item done. We just need to work on our drop item, because we want to be able to drop the item, right? So we're going to come in here, and this is going to be a lot of code. But nah, it's probably going to be the most code so far. Anyways, we're going to type some stuff. Variable old inventory ID is going to be a number, and it's going to be event.target.inventory ID. Then the new object ID is going to be the event.target.id and event.target.stopDrag. And we type stop drag to stop dragging. So like, I'll show you. Oops. Oh, capital cap was the N in number. So if we go here and check move items, and then now watch, when I let go, it'll stop dragging it. See? That's stop dragging. And then I can move this one, and then I can move it anywhere I want. But we're going to make it so you can only move it to an inventory slot. Anyways, so to do that, we're going to do if event.target.moving. So if it doesn't equal true, if it's not moving, then something's wrong here. Hey, we're only allowed to move one item at a time anyways, so an easy way to fix that is to do this. For each variable, I named it reset, just to because it's going to reset in objects anyways. So for each I'll change reset to item just to make it less confusing. So we're going to do if item.moving equal true. So that means, hey, this item is moving. So we're going to do item.x equals before x and item.y equals before y. And remember, we set before x and before y up and move item. So now it'll move it back to where it was before. And we're going to do item.moving equals false. And then we're going to break, so we can exit this for loop, because it's going and going until it reaches all the items. But since, hey, we already found the moving item, we can just break out of this loop. So now that we've broken out of that, we can come here to if no, then for, nope, else. So after if event.target.moving isn't true, Else, if it is true, so this is the item that's moving. Um, we'll do variable get object obj. It's going to be a string. It's going to be event.target.dropTarget .parent.toString. So this basically gets the what it was dropped on. So drop target is what it was dropped on, and then it's going to get the parent of that, and it's going to make it a string. It's going to turn it into a string, which I don't know if it does, but you'll see why. I'm not sure in a minute. But so we're going to do if check bind inv id. Actually, no. We're actually going to do if get obj, get object, the one we just made, it equals object inv slot. And then, so basically, if it's an inventory slot, which it'll be named object and then the name of the class, which for me is inv slot. So object in slot. Anyways, so then we're gonna do we're gonna set inventory ID. So variable inv id a number equals event dot target dot drop target dot parent dot id, and if check bind. So now we're gonna check the bind inventory ID, and that's it. So now it's gonna check to see if. So basically, if this inventory returns true, then it is already used. I'm just putting that so we know for later. We're going to do objects obj id, which we have made earlier, dot x equals before x, and objects obj id dot y equals before y, just like that. And then we're going to set objects obj id dot moving equals false. So basically, hey, this inventory slot's already being used by something else. You can't be here, you know. So let's try it. Move items. So let's try putting it here. Okay, it works. Okay. So well here's a little example then, because still obviously it's not working right. It's because we have to unbind and bind and all that stuff. See, you try to put it on a slot that it thinks is taken, which it's really not. But you try to put it on a slot that is, like right there, it just goes right back to where it was. See? I don't know why it was. Oh, because it was okay. Anyways, so let's just keep going, and you'll see. So if it'll go back, and then else. So it's not. So it is empty. We're going to do variable new x equals event dot target dot drop target dot parent dot x, and then variable new y equals event dot target dot drop target dot parent dot y. Then we're going to unbind the item with the old inventory ID, and then the object ID, and that's it. So now the item should unbind, and then we're going to bind the item with the new inventory ID and the object ID. Oops, sorry, I had to click something. So now that we unbinded the old item and we binded the new item, we're going to do objects obj id dot. Let's just copy this. So instead of before y and before x, we'll just do new y and new x, just like that, and then we'll make it objects obj id dot moving equals false, and we'll set objects obj id dot id to obj id, and I don't think we need that, but we're gonna leave it in there anyways, right? Then we're gonna do else, and this is the else. The object is not an inventory slot, Then we're just going to do event.target.x equals before x, and event.target.y equals before y. And we're done with this function. So now if we test it, hopefully it'll work. So now let's test it, move items. Okay, look, it doesn't move here. Perfect, right? Can't make it move. Can we move here? Nope. Can we move here? Yep. Can we move here? Yep. Can we move back? Yep. Can we move back? Yep. Perfect. Can we move here? Nope. Okay, and why it was like half kind of way, it's because this new Y, remember we have to add 22.5, because the registration level on the inventory slot, remember it's on the top, so if we subtract half of the height, it'll make it fit perfectly. So now if we test it, and we're still getting that error, I'm not sure what it is, but I'll check into it and make sure we get it fixed by the end. So now, if we check move items and try to move it, okay. Oh, it moved there. Can that move there? Yep. Perfect. Oh, perfect. It's working really nicely, isn't it? But now, look, if we go over the object, that shouldn't happen. No way. That should not happen, huh? So, to fix that, what we need to do is we need to just come up here to our check for hits and open that up, and if character.hitTest object item, and we'll add an and there, and then we'll do item dot in inventory equals false. So because if it's in an inventory, we don't want him to move it anyways, or we don't want it to be moved to a slot anyways. So now, hopefully, that's not right. Doesn't, okay, we'll put doesn't equal true, because right now it's null. It's not false or true, which basically means false, but you know. So if hit test object item and item.inInventory is not true, then it'll put the item in the inventory. Perfect. Okay, so now let's try going over one of the objects. Perfect. Now let's see what happens if we go over one of the objects while we're in the inventory. See, that's really weird. Why does it put it there? That's another thing I'll have to check out for you. But so far it's it's working like planned. Just a few little mistakes. But I believe we've covered everything in this tutorial. We can move items. We can use items. We can collect items. Yeah, so we have them all. We've finished everything in this tutorial. So let me look through and figure out all the little mess ups I made, and then we'll get this thing totally fixed, and you guys will be ready to go. So after comparing every single line of code, and after changes and stuff, I figured out the problem. So after objects, add event listener, in our function for check for hits, we have to add a break to break out of the while. So after like item.y equals slots newest free, and after all that stuff, add a break. So basically line 98 if you type the exact same code as me. Now if we save it and test it, it should work perfectly. So now let's select a couple, we'll vary it a little, because you know how I hate having to organize and stuff. I guess I might have to. Oh yeah, well, I need some extra health and a couple more mana, but now I want to organize them. So I'm going to move all of my mana to the top, I guess. Well, maybe I want my health there. Oh, mana's already there. Forgot. Okay, so now let's move all that there. Oh, hey, wait. Let me walk around. Let me come over here. Oh, but I do see errors popping up now. I know why. Because we have we changed in inventory. Okay, so that's just a small little change we have to make. So when we remove when we use objects use object, instead of changing item in inventory to false, just leave it so it's true on both case mana and case health. So now if we try it, and then we go to the inventory, and look, you can also pick up items while it's in the inventory now, by the way. And then if we use a few items, it won't give us any errors. Perfect. But now if we go over an item over here, like this last item we have, it works. Okay, so another thing we could change also is we could do item.visible equals false, just to make sure the item is gone. I'm not sure about memory. Like I told you earlier, I checked for memory leaks. Maybe I didn't. Well, I mean I did, but like, you know, maybe I didn't test it enough or something like that. But for the most part, you know, it shouldn't have memory leaks. Like I'm not sure, but also let's test it with like 30 items and see what happens when our inventory is full. Oops, what did I just do? I have no idea, but I'm making this full screen so you guys can hopefully see. Okay, you can't, but I'm gonna take my guy and start him at the bottom so you guys see him at the top. Okay, so I'm picking up items. I'm gonna open up my inventory. So picking up items, and this just stops picking up items. Perfect, right? So now you can't pick up any items until, hey, and then you use them, and then you walk around, and then, hey, you can pick them up. Okay, and yep, picking up more, and there we go. So everything looks like it's working, except for my health says 13. It's really 130, but you just can't see the 0 because I didn't make a text box long enough. But yeah, so that's it for this tutorial, guys. I hope an hour and 40 minutes or so is long enough for you guys. But thank you guys for all of you who stayed along and watched. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Talk to you guys later. Bye.